Hey, Uji Roman here, another update on the FRANKENBIKE. About halfway through sanding it. You can use here, I have what's called a grinder, but you don't use a grinding wheel on it. You can use what's called a sand disc. It's pretty much just overlapping sandpaper around the disc, and it rotates. You can use it. It's actually very effective. You don't scratch the metal, and all it takes off is paint and exterior and surface rust. As you can see here, I brought it down to bare metal, but then I left this rusted. I like to call it naturally treated. So that way, this has been created that way because it's already been beaten to hell. And so, considering it's underneath, you don't have to necessarily worry about anyone looking at it, and if they really do, I mean, I plan on leaving this either black or red, and as you can see, that wouldn't blend too badly with either color. So anyway, on top of that, it wouldn't be very effective to paint that anyway because it would just rub off eventually from like rocks and stuff that you would be driving over. Generally, how you want to sand it, you want to get main body parts right here down to bare metal. And when it comes to creaks and stuff, you see, there's a lot of rust and still paint left over. Now, you don't have to necessarily completely, well, when it comes to the tool, you don't have to get every single little piece. You want to get as much as you can, of course. With a piece of sandpaper right here, you can get a little piece, whatever corner, you can kind of rub it off as much as you can and get those little pieces in corners. It's going to take a lot longer, needless to say, and it won't look as pretty, so that way you can get in those little creaks and cracks. The main point for this is that when you do paint it and there's other stuff on there already, the way that paint works, at least from well, most kinds of paints, it's supposed to adhere to bare metal, not dirt and grime and rust and other stuff that's already there. So you want to get that as down to bare metal as you possibly can. You don't have to be crazy good about it, but you want to get, you know, depending on how good you want it to look and how long you want it to last, you want it to be there. So, yeah. You generally see I got most of it down to bare metal. And also, if you get a go-kart that is not completely homemade, like this piece is, like I mentioned before, is factory made, so the factory paint is going to be way better than rust or other rattle can paint. Let's see here. So you can see, even though I sanded it down to bare metal, the initial paint that this came with still kind of wants to stick on. And it's going to be a pain in the butt in order to get that off. But you just keep sanding at it and keep going until it's completely off. And then I've also been asked if you have to get it 100%. No, it will stick, but again, you do want to get as much as you can off. Like, see, this won't matter. I got the edges as much as I could, you know, down to bare metal. But the inside, it doesn't really matter because the cake stand's going to be in here, and it's upside down anyway, so no one's really going to see that. Thanks for watching, and in the comments below, let me see what you want to see next.